Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to District's 38 Voice Fusion session on all about specialty clubs. This workshop will be facilitated by our presenter, Sue Brooks, who has been a Toastmaster since 2000, and she has completed 3 Distinguished Toastmasters Awards, 2 in the traditional program and 1 in Pathways. She has completed 13 paths and pathways, and is a member of not 1, not 2, but 6 clubs. She has held a variety of club officer and district officer leadership positions. She currently provides free toast host support in District 38 and serves as the Area 32 Director in District 83. In tonight's interactive workshop, Sue will share some examples of specialty clubs here in District 38 and beyond so that you can explore your specific interest. In addition, she will show you how leadership in creating new clubs can help you work towards your Distinguished Toastmaster requirement. Please help me welcome our 3-time Distinguished Toastmaster, Sue Brooks.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction, Ann Golden. So grateful to see you in the Zoom room tonight. Let's get started. Few bits of housekeeping. You can raise your actual hand or your virtual hand under the reactions if you have a question. Ann Golden will be monitoring the chat, and this can take place throughout the discussion, throughout the presentation. This presentation is being recorded for your convenience, and it will be shared by the district. So let's get started. You will learn about joining existing specialty clubs, creating specialty clubs, rebranding and energizing a struggling club as a specialty club, and how to achieve pathways progress while exploring your interests. I'm really grateful Aditi Arba is here tonight. She is our District 38 Club Growth Director. And when it comes time to talking about creating these clubs, she is the person you're going to want to talk to if you haven't met her already. That's here in District 38. And for those of you who are zooming in from other districts, you will talk to your club growth director for any creation of new clubs. So for joining existing specialty clubs, there's a few ways to go about doing it. One, you're going to want to search. You could search various groups that you're in, such as looking at the district dashboards. You could see names of clubs, and within those names, sometimes it's very obvious if it's a specialty club, and other times it just might pique your interest to learn more. Typically on the district dashboards, there's a link to the club's website or for the information on Toastmasters International. You could also do your search with meetup groups. Type in your interests, and then you can find different groups. Many Toastmasters clubs have a presence on Meetup, as well as other social media things such as Facebook and professional groups on LinkedIn, Instagram. Some are on TikTok, and X. There are various ways to find specialty clubs and groups that you're interested in. The other thing you could do is remember talking to people like real face-to-face. You could do that when you're at training and other events. Conferences coming up this spring, talk to people. It's a great way to find out new things and opportunities to join existing specialty clubs. Anybody have an idea of what I am talking about? What that means, a specialty club? You can raise your hand, put it in the chat, call out loud, interrupt me. Anybody know what a specialty club is? What does that mean? Ian Melanson.
So a specialty club is a club that is more dedicated than a corporate club. It's a group of people that have a common interest. It might be a book club, it might be cooking, it could be anything.
Thank you, Ian. And I see Karen and Christine placed some information in the chat, and you're all correct. Focus on one subject matter. Thank you, Karen. And Christine, are advanced clubs considered specialty? It's one form of a specialty club, and I'm glad you asked that, because that will help lend the discussion a little later on when we're talking about forming clubs. An advanced club is a form of a specialty club, but when I'm talking about specialty clubs, I even further divide it. As a matter of fact, when Ann Golden introduced me, she said I'm a member of 6 clubs. And for the conversation here, one is a community club, one is a corporate club, although I'm an external partner. 2 are advanced clubs, and 2 others are specialty clubs. One of my specialty clubs is a book group, like was just discussed, and another is a club focusing on podcasting. We'll talk a little bit more about those particular clubs and others in the upcoming slides. Another thing that you're going to want to know about creating specialty clubs. See, a deity, I told you I would talk about you. You need to talk to a deity and her team about how to get started. You're going to want to talk to people you know who have a similar interest or are in the same profession to gauge interest. Do you have enough support? Do you have a minimum of 20 members to get this club off the ground? And then you need to decide if it will be an advanced specialty club or open to all. The reason I'm stating this, and a deity, you can jump in if I'm misstating anything. But when a new club charters, you need to have 17 at least members who aren't Toastmasters yet, and up to 3 can be existing Toastmasters for a regular club or a corporate club. For an advanced specialty club, these are people who are already Toastmasters and have a particular interest. We're going to use cooking because Ian Melanson brought that up. Say you're all interested in cooking or food. And how are you going to get around this rule? By stating that it is an advanced club and charter as an advanced specialty club. And then later on, during your term, if you want to invite others who are non-Toastmasters to join you, you can change your status with Toastmasters International. If you have any questions about that, we can go into it further either now or later on in the presentation. And Odete, did I state that correctly? If you're speaking, I can't hear you because you're still on mute. Well, you could let me know in a little bit or when we come back to this topic. So let's talk about some specialty clubs. You can achieve pathways progress. For example, thank you, Ian Golden. You can achieve pathways progress on some of these specific interests. If you like to learn about podcasting, or if you are a podcaster, if you like reading, if you like food or travel or language, you can gear your speeches on any of the 5 levels, on any of the 6 paths that are current in the new base camp. Many of the projects support these various interests. Here's an example of a specialty club that I found in District 46. This one's called Global Yoga Voices, and you're not meant to read the fine print on their homepage of their Free Toast website. However, some of the things I found about this club, they're all Toastmasters, and they all have a passion for yoga, meditation, spirituality, and more. I've placed these clubs, Free Toast website links here. After today's presentation, I will share this presentation in the chat with you so you can go to the links and explore further if you like any of these clubs or want to learn more or visit any of them. I'm sharing tonight a number of clubs, as Ian Golden introduced me earlier. Some are in District 38 and some are beyond. Kidney Stories Toastmasters. This is one that you don't necessarily choose to want to be in if you're a recipient of a kidney. However, there has been so much interest in this club in District 46 because many, many members, either kidney donors, kidney recipients, family members, either they are a family member or they have a family member. Medical professional guest speakers come by and visit. On promoting kidney disease awareness. This is something that nobody wishes on anybody, but we have to have an awareness of it. I met a number of these people in District 46 when I was serving as a trainer, and they say how important this is to the community. And more people, when speaking about it, raise their hand and say, I know somebody, I was a donor. My brother was a donor, and so on. So it doesn't have to be something like gardening or cooking, but it could be a medical interest. And apparently this club is thriving. Next up, Gastronomy Toastmasters. Ian Melanson was talking about cooking, but this one has to do with food, various cuisines, and this group meets in a couple of different ways. They meet online to talk about food and recipes and cooking and different cultures. However, what good is food if all you do is talk about it and you don't actually eat it? This group gets together regularly and goes out to eat, and they check out various cuisines. Their group is quite diverse with all kinds of cultures, and this group is based in New York City. And we all know there's lots of different kinds of food, but then again, you can have all different kinds of food in various locations, wherever you are. But this one happens to be, in New York City. Any questions so far? Okay, Diwan Shai. This one is a bilingual Arabic-English club. This group supports people who speak Arabic and English. If their Arabic skills are their first language and they want to improve their English, they get plenty of support in this club. If English is their first language and they're perfecting their Arabic for school, for work, or their community, this club is the place for them. And there are many other languages that our Toastmasters speak. And if in your communities, either physically, locally, or people you know, or online, speak a language that you speak or that you want to learn more about, this is a great way to do it. I've heard many examples from this club and some of the other language clubs that they might alternate one meeting in one language, one meeting in another. The speaker can choose which language to speak in. Members are encouraged to speak in one language or the other, but to use at least a few words or phrases in the language they're trying to learn better, or perfect. There's many ways to organize these language clubs. Next up, NYSSCPA. Boy, that's a mouthful. Toastmasters Club. This one is a Toastmasters Club for professional accountants, and NYSSCPA is an organization in which accountants belong to. So they decided to create a Toastmasters Club. They don't just talk about accounting all the time, they have other interests as well, but it has a professional focus. As you can see, there are many different kinds of Toastmasters clubs for a variety of interests and activities. Podcast Pioneers. This is the one for which I am a member. Podcast Pioneers was chartered almost 4.5 years ago. At first, I heard about it and I thought, well, that sounds neat. And then I heard about it again. I thought, I might want to stop by their demonstration meeting. You know why? All of a sudden at work, I was hearing about podcasting and how our agency needed to start getting involved to help.
Sue, you went mute.
What was that, Ann Melanson? What was, Ann, did you have a question, Ann Melanson?
No, my audio went down. I got it. Thank you.
Oh, okay, great. Glad it's all worked out for you, Ann. So anyway, I was starting to listen up a little bit more carefully at work because they were talking about podcasting and how we needed to support our clients, and many of them were doing podcasts. So I thought, they're starting a podcasting club. I might want to go to the demo meeting and find out what it's all about. And I learned that it was for people who are currently podcasters or for brand new people who are interested, who just wanted to learn more, who maybe wanted to create their first podcast. And we're going strong 4.5 years later. It's a mix of people who have podcasts, have been podcasting, have been uploading their content to Spotify, who have followers. And then there's people like me. Still, even though I've created a few for the club, I still consider myself a raw beginner. I've done some with audio. I've done some with audio and video. I've done some on my own. I've had guests, but I'm still a beginner. And we invite anybody to come join us for a visit to one of our meetings if you're interested in podcasting, if you're a podcaster or you want to learn more. Again, I'm not going to pitch every single one of the clubs that I'm in over any of the others, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the scope of the kinds of interests. And again, on this club's homepage, they share their logo and have an invitation to visit the channel on Spotify, and then their club officers listed. So let's move on. Here we are in District 38. This club, Susquehanna Advanced Toastmasters, also calls themselves SAT, is one of those that are an advanced Toastmaster club. I've placed the link here for their website, and this club uses Easy Speak instead of Free Toast Toast. One is not any better than the other. It's just the platform that this club chooses to use. Again, I'm not expecting you to read the graphic, but if you do visit their website, on the far right, you will notice there's information about what it takes to be an advanced Toastmaster in this particular club. Many of these specialty clubs that have joining requirements, such as an advanced club, will advise you about what you need to do to join. The other thing is many of the advanced clubs I know of, as well as my own, allow people to come and visit, whether they're advanced or not. Why? Why do you think we would encourage anyone to come visit, even if they're not an advanced Toastmaster? Anyway, you can raise your hand or type it in the chat. Darcel, how about you? I could see it. And then I'll call on you, Ann Golden. Why do you think somebody might want to be invited?
In Susquehanna Advance Club, we do have guests that come and they want to learn from Toastmasters, such as us, who have gone through a path or many, have a DTM, and to find out exactly what we do and how we do it. Even though they're not eligible at the time, they can take on projects in their club where they are, or join a club that they can utilize as their scaffold and still be a member guest at the meetings that we hold on Saturdays.
Thank you so much, Darcel. And I see Ian Melanson put in to see what advanced Toastmasters look like. And Ian Golden, how about you?
Yeah, just reiterate what Darcel said, basically that they want to find out what it would take to be in an advanced club, to see if they can and to see what it's like, to see what kind of a challenge they would face in an advanced club. And it's always good to attend an advanced club because you can always pick up tips, even if you're not ready to join. You observe and watch how they do evaluations and how they deliver speeches. And you can pick up terrific tips on how you can improve yourself just from observing them.
Thank you very much, Ian Golden and Ian Melanson and Darcel. Those are perfectly wonderful reasons why advanced clubs would welcome in guests to visit and learn about their club. Another really good reason is Toastmasters who aren't yet advanced can forge relationships with some of the people in these clubs. These could be people who could possibly be mentors. These are people you could invite to help you at your speech craft, right, Ian Melanson? These are people who you can invite to help you at special events that you're hosting. And when they're eligible, then they can become Toastmasters because Toastmasters in your club, because they'll have forged a relationship. I'll have a great story to share. There was a gentleman who found one of my clubs through Find a Club. He was a brand new Toastmaster, never joined before, and he didn't meet the eligibility requirements yet because he hadn't had any Toastmaster experience. What our club did was have a roster of, at the time it was pre-pandemic, so everything was in person, a roster of area clubs that he could go visit. And he did. And he joined one of the area clubs and became a Toastmaster. And we said, when you finish your requirements, you can come back to our club and join. And guess what he did? He went to the community club. He earned his, at the time, competent communicator designation. And then he joined the advanced club. When his schedule changed, he moved to a different community club and he kept his relationship with the advanced club as well. But it's all wonderful because you're helping them. And if a person can't join your club right away, it's to your benefit to be a good host and tell them about other opportunities in community clubs or other clubs that might help them achieve their goals. And then you can bet they'll come back and visit you. Are there any other questions or comments on the advanced clubs? Okay, let's move on. There's some more clubs in District 38 that are specialty clubs. Peak Performance Advanced Club. This is another advanced club, and this was one in which I am a member. We meet once a month, and our club uses Easy Speak, just like Susquehanna Advanced Toastmasters uses. Here's the address. One of the other very interesting things about advanced clubs is sometimes we haven't partnered yet, Darcel. We must do that. We need to partner. We need to come up with a joint meeting. Let me dual club meeting. Let me make a note of that. Advanced club, dual club meeting. That's something else that you could do. If you're an advanced club, you can partner with another advanced club and have a joint meeting. And you will learn, you will have fun, and it could be on the meeting night of one club. It could be on the meeting if you meet during the night. I'm saying night, but it could be day or whenever you meet. Of one club, of the other, or it could be a totally different time frame. And each club could then split the meeting roles, and whoever's organizing the event can use it as a Pathways leadership project. Peak Performance Advance Club partnered with Talk of Monmouth, an advance club in District 83, and we had a joint club meeting and we had a lot of fun. Parliamentary Speaking Toastmasters Club. This is also in District 38. This club uses Free Toast Toast for their website. And in reading the description, you learn about parliamentary procedures and more. Many of our district meetings are district executive council meetings, business meetings, follow parliamentary procedure. We are required to do so. And learning about these procedures is of great interest to some. If anybody here knows more than I do, you may be free to raise your hand, step in, and help populate the conversation. But one of the things I do know is there's some people who actually get certified to become a parliamentarian, and that's of great value to them personally and professionally. So here we are in District 38 with an opportunity to join a parliamentary speaking Toastmasters specialty clubs. How many of you knew about all of these specialty clubs?
Yeah.
I didn't know about all of them until I started doing my research. I knew a lot, but I didn't know everything, and I still don't know everything. Next up. I didn't know about them. Thank you, Karen. Okay, North America Chinese Bilingual Toastmasters. Believe it or not, this club is also in District 38. And when I did my research, I found out that this club alternates between all English and all Mandarin meetings. And again, I've placed their website here on the slide. What's interesting about that is it contrasts with the information that I heard from some of my other friends in other language clubs where they have part of the meeting in one language, part in another. People could feel comfortable and confident answering in whichever language they wanted. But this one specifically states all English, all Mandarin. So that was very much of interest to me. Next up, Bookmasters. Okay, my friend Amy Culbertson, Division A director, and I were talking about books and book clubs. Amy told me she found out about this club, which is located in Texas. You could see the meeting from November 17th. It says 4 p.m. Central. Many of the clubs that are online clubs take great pride in making sure that you know when to show up. Not everybody is on the East Coast. Even though Andrew's in North Carolina, was it? Am I correct? You can shake your head. Ian's in Georgia. Some of us are in Pennsylvania. Some of us are in New Jersey. I don't know where everybody else is located right now, but state the time zone in which you're in. So if you want to encourage guests and members, well, your members are going to show up, but if you want to encourage guests from all over to show up, they'll know to attend your meeting at the correct time. So having the time zone is important. Anyway, I was speaking with Amy, and it turns out she and I both love books and we both love Toastmasters. I invited her to one of my book clubs, Toastmaster groups. She visited, but the time was not convenient for her. And she had told me about Bookmasters. I'm like, cool, let me look them up. This particular club has been around a lot more than my Toastmasters book group. And what I found I liked about this club's page is that they show the book that they're going to be reading. they encourage visitors, they make it nice and clean. And also not shown on this slide is they have on their navigation on the left, they have links to all the books, the list of all the books that they ever read. So why might that be helpful? Ann Golden? Why might that be helpful to know like all the books the club has ever read?
Because that gives you an idea of the type of books that they're reading and whether or not you are interested in those type of books to participate in the club.
Excellent. Anybody else?
It also gives you, even if it may not be a topic that you're very interested in, it would behoove you to go and to see what it's about, because it could be something that you do become interested in based on the conversation that the members of the club are having about that book, and to find out how the discussion goes and how that's incorporated into their past.
Absolutely. Great point, Ann Golden. Andrew, I'll call on you in a second, Darcel. Andrew, did you want to say something about the types of books?
Sure. I'm in a book club, a local, listen to the Toastmasters, but they're always asking for suggestions. And my question is, well, what books have you already read? I'm kind of new to the club. I don't want to keep recommending the same things they've already done. So it'd be very helpful if I could see what they've already talked about.
Thank you. That was exactly what I was going to look. And Ian Melanson said, have you read the books that they are reading? So yes, that's a good thing. And if new people join the club, they can see the historical record of what books were read, what were chosen, so they don't recommend the same book again. Darcel, you're going to
Yes,
add something to.
I was thinking the same thing. Even though they've read the books and you have not read the books, you'll know what they read and then you can discuss it with them and see it from their perspective and how they explain it to you. They enjoyed it. It was long, the characters, what was the plot, where it was located, what was the year when it was published. And that's a good way to start a conversation. You're on their mailing list, you've joined, and you'll get invites and you'll meet new people as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Darcel. One of the things that I found really interesting, so you want to know like what they read in the past. So say I wanted to join that club, if they have 5 or 6 years worth of or more of books in their roster on their shelves, I wouldn't go recommending something that they read already because I did my homework and I looked it up. So I might want to recommend something new. All great answers to find out and encourage love of reading, sparking conversations. And this is a great venue for trying out different pathways projects. One of the clubs that I'm in, the book group, one woman for her pathways project wanted to have a panel discussion. So she did all her preparation. She facilitated, the discussion with 4 of our members, and they each had a chance to speak and talk about the book that we read for that month. Something else that's really cool about book groups for Toastmasters, for people who love to read and discuss books and learn new things, as Darcel and Ian and Andrew and all of us love and like, is that you learn new things. And one of the really cool things about the person who becomes Table Topics Master, they have a very interesting charge. And that is, they come up with questions about the book or about the topics that are discussed in the book. But when they present their table topics prompts, they have to frame it in a way that if a member didn't read the book or didn't finish the book, that they don't feel scared or embarrassed or awkward or afraid. Or if we have a guest, that they can raise their hand and participate in the conversation, and they feel engaged and they feel like, I can do this. I can talk about this topic. I didn't read this book, but I can talk about the topic. Does that make sense? And then this way they'll feel, this might be the right place for me. I'd like to come back again. The other very cool thing about a book club for Toastmasters is we also have had guest speakers who are authors or who are aspiring authors. And that's another way to engage your members with speeches and conversations and the like. Next up, leaders or readers. This is the one that I'm in. We read and discuss books, and here, as we stated, table topics can be expanded. And you can pivot if you haven't read the book yet, or if you're a guest. This next book we're reading was just published, Echoes of Wisdom, and it's written by Sherry V. Ellison. We typically spin a randomized spinning pinwheel to select our book for the following month. Everybody in the club has an option to place titles that they would like to read in the wheel, and then we spin for the following month. So we're asked to read half the book for the first meeting and then finish the book for the second meeting. And then this way, we can all feel comfortable and confident listening to the speeches and engaging with table topics. We also like to use inspirational quotes that have to do with the topic or the theme to keep our members engaged. Next, this is an amazing story. And this is rebranding an existing club as a specialty club. So what happened? This graphic shows the homepage from a group called Travel Masters. Travel Masters Toastmasters. Who are they and what do they do? They talk about travel. They love travel. Everybody loves to travel, they say. So how did this come to be? Travel Masters rebranded after and became a President's Distinguished Club after struggling as a community club without a brand, without a theme, when members moved away. This club happens to be located in the Hudson Valley in New York State. What's the main? We'll talk about that in a second. Membership restrictions. Okay. So what happened was it started out as a community club, and as shown on the slide, a number of the members moved away. Membership was dropping, but the members the remaining members wanted to keep the club alive. They wanted to not fold. They didn't want to have to turn in their charter. So they thought about travel, and they thought of rebranding as a specialty club. And with their new brand and marketing and public relations and outreach, sharing their enthusiasm for travel, they were able to rebuild their membership. And as stated on the slide, my friend Sarah told me that they became President's Distinguished last year after struggling. So this is an interesting thing to think about. I'm not saying this is the solution for everybody, but this is just an example of something these people did. So Amar asked a question: what is the main benefits of eligibility, membership restrictions to starting a club? Wouldn't you want to lower the recruitment bar to get 17 new members plus 3 members to get started sooner? Some clubs might not want to go that route because there might be, and Aditi, you can chime in if I'm stating anything incorrectly, but sometimes there are plenty of people who are interested in whatever the specialty is without having existing Toastmasters. You might know people, you might have contacts within your garden club. I'll give you an example. I know a number of people who are not Toastmasters. They're engaged with a program called Master Gardeners. They love gardening. They love sharing their experience with the community. They like plants, they like gardening, they like anything that has to do with it. In order to receive their Master Gardener designation, they need to present to the community. They have to share, they have to talk about their specialty, they have to get up in front of the public and talk about gardening in order to achieve their designation as a Master Gardener. Now, Master Gardeners are not restricted to here in New Jersey or Pennsylvania or North Carolina or Georgia. They are all over the country. I have a friend who's out in Arizona, and she presented a speechcraft to her friends who are Master Gardeners to get them excited about learning about Toastmasters, and with the hopes of forming a club for Master Gardeners. So you don't already have to have the 17 and 3, 21. You might have in your Master Gardener group a plethora of people who have the skills and talent in their specialty, but want to improve their speaking. They might have an interest in cooking or sports or what have you. And there might be plenty of people that you can reach out to have that and get started right away. Amar, I hope that answered your question. So it's not, yes, Andrew, please go ahead.
Yeah. Did you say that Master Gardeners are required to give a presentation to an outside group?
They
Okay,
are required to give presentations in order to get their Master Gardener designation.
I'm going to look up our Master Gardener program and invite them all to my club.
There you go. It's a great, I was listening to, I was like, wow, you're doing a speechcraft just for your Master Gardeners? What a great way. And I attended their speechcraft as a guest presenter, and they're out there in Arizona. It was about September, and I'm here in a long sleeve shirt and a scarf, which is appropriate for September here in New Jersey. And they're all in tank tops and short sleeves and sleeveless tops. And they looked at me like something was wrong with me. Where are you? They said. I was like, New Jersey. Oh, that's why you're dressed like. But yes, Master Gardeners are all over, and the requirements are the same. So I'm grateful that was helpful to you, Andrew. Next. So Pathways projects. There are plenty of speech and leadership projects to help you break out of your comfort zone and share your interests. As we said earlier, you can do something like a panel discussion. If you are one of the officers in your current club or in a specialty club you might join or create, leading in your volunteer organization is another project that you could do. And there are, if you join a specialty club or even if you visit one, this helps present additional opportunities for you to present speeches. If you have limited opportunities in your home club, I met so many people that are in a corporate club that perhaps meet once a month. That doesn't give too many people too many options for speeches and making progress toward their pathways completion or even their DTM. So joining another club presents additional opportunities for presenting those speeches and progressing in pathways. So you can work towards your DTM. And Aditi, this is for you also to jump in if I am misstating anything, please. Please work with Aditi and her team if you are interested in sponsoring a new club, in chartering a new club with any of these interests or anything that I even haven't talked about. Aditi will help you. She and her team will help you get that club off the ground. And please go through Aditi because she can help you if you are interested in becoming and being named the sponsor, one of two sponsors for each new club, and or serving as a new club mentor. New clubs need all kinds of support, and that new club mentor works with the newly chartered club for a minimum of 6 months to help them on the path towards distinguished. I want to recommend again that you work with Aditi if you have any questions about starting any of these new clubs. She'll help point you in the right direction for the paperwork that you need to get and getting your name on the charter as one of the sponsors. Please look at the Distinguished Toastmaster Award application for the details about what it takes. If you are working on your DTM and you haven't yet chartered a new club, you can choose sponsor a new club or serve as a speechcraft coordinator or facilitate a youth leadership program. That's one line item, this, or this. Another line item is to serve as a new club mentor or to serve as a coach for a struggling club. And again, a DOT can help get you those assignments, talk to you about what's required, but use this, if you are working toward your DTM, use this as a checklist for all the things that you're doing and have yet to do. I have one in the works. Sure, I've earned 3 DTMs already, but you always have another one in the works, right, Ian Golden? You always have another one in the works, and you don't want to forget what you did. And when you did it, when did I go to club training? Oh yeah, that was yesterday. November 19th, attended club officer training. Because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, that's not on your profile. All the other things you need to know about are on your profile, but that's not. When did I do my club success plan? Ian, do you remember the day we did our club success plan and what exit? I don't remember. I have to go look at my calendar. Do you remember? Put it on your DTM application. Do it now. So this way, when it comes time for you to submit your award application, all that information will be there. And again, please connect with a DOT if you want to sponsor a new club, if you want to charter a new club, and if you and the people that you're working with want to be a sponsor and or want an appointment as a new club mentor, because we're always chartering clubs, we're always building our District 38, we're always growing, and we need new voices and new talent. So let's get a family photo. We're coming up towards 7:50. So what I'm
So,
going to do is
One-
ask.
One thing to,
Yes,
so
please.
for, if you wanted to be a mentor or a new club mentor or a coach, you have to get trained. So one of the things we're doing right now, we're having training. So if you go to District 38, the special calendar is on the special event calendar. We're having a mentor training on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And then we have we're calling the club coaching training office hours. So that too is on the event calendar. So please register if you want to be any of those. And then also Anne is here. Anne is my sponsor chair. So if you wanted to charter a club, just let us know right now, because Anne is right here and we can go from there. Sue has done a great job of informing us of what my team is doing this year, and I'm absolutely grateful to Sue. So if you need our help, if you want to help us, please reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi. And yes, I know Ian Golden is part of the team, and I've helped with some of the demonstration meetings or kickoff meetings for some of the new clubs. It's so rewarding to help in that capacity. I'm so grateful. And thank you so much, Aditi, for telling us about the training. Before I snap the photo, I just want to respond to Amar's question. Do you know if there is a coaching specialty or advanced club. Coaching to lead, coaching as a business, learning the coaching language, masterminding. That's a great question. I don't know if there is one here in District 38, but you can certainly look it up, do a search. And
That would be a great club.
to start if one does not exist. So that is a great question. And I know there are other people who are health coaches, life coaches, all kinds of other kinds of coaches. So yes, that is a great idea for a club, Amar. So again, if that's something that you would like to join and you find that one doesn't exist, you could talk to a deity about getting some people together to create that club. So thank you for that. Any other questions before we take our picture? After we take our picture, then we can have more questions, but okay, here's the mouse type disclaimer. You may keep your camera on. If you would like to be in the family photo, you can keep your smiles on. I'll give you a prompt. If you do not want to be in the photo, if you can't turn your camera on, you can keep it closed. I'll give you a prompt. One, two, three, smile. Thank you so much. I'm going to take one more. Karen, I don't think you, Karen Cappy, please turn your camera on again.
I
want
wasn't
people-
ready. Okay, thanks.
You could put your camera on again. Okay, there we go. I wanted to make sure we captured your presence. One, two, three, smile again. Thank you so much. All right, so we took our family photo and I want to know if there are any other questions before I have the last slide. We'll give you some homework. Yes, Andrew.
Yeah, it's going to follow up on something you were saying to Amar, how he wanted to start a coaching club, and you want to be sure there isn't one already. I'm just wondering, how would you be sure there wasn't one already? Maybe you just couldn't find it, and then you start one, and down the line you find out there already was one. Is
Well,
there some place you can look and see a full list of all the clubs and when they meet and
Yeah,
how to join
that's a
them?
very good question. And I don't recommend restricting or cutting yourself off or your club or your fellow Toastmasters and potential Toastmasters. I don't recommend cutting them off for the mere sake of, oh, there's one already. There are lots of advanced clubs. There's lots
Mhm.
of different kinds of specialty clubs. Susquehanna Advanced Club, Darcel, when do you guys meet? You can come off mute, my friend. There you
Okay.
go.
We meet on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11
Thank you. You meet
on Saturdays.
Saturday mornings, 9 to 11.
Yes.
Peak Performance. We meet once a month and we meet on Monday evenings. Why did I just bring up that example in answer to your question, Andrew? The reason is go ahead and start that advanced club, or sorry, excuse me, that specialty club or that advanced specialty club or whatever club it is that you want or like, whether or not a club exists with that same group of interested parties. Few reasons. What I just demonstrated with Darcel, we're two different kinds of clubs that meet different times, even though we're both advanced clubs. When Peak Performance Advanced Club partnered with Talk of Monmouth a few years ago with our joint meeting, we shared roles and responsibilities in that joint meeting. We also had on the back of the PDF agenda, or the second page, I shall say, when the club met, what the highlights of each club were, what we did that was unique, that stood out from other standard agendas or meeting formats. We shared contact information. Please visit this club. This club meets on a Monday. This club meets on a Saturday. Maybe some people love both of the clubs. Maybe some other people love both groups, but they can't go on a Saturday. Oh. Or maybe Monday night's just no good because, hey, I'm an area director this year. 2 of my clubs that I'm supporting meet on Monday nights, the same night as my club. There's a little bit of a conflict. So anyway, if there's something of a particular interest, go ahead and start that club, charter that club. We can always all use new clubs. You're not stealing people, you're not taking people, you're just providing additional opportunities for more people to get involved because the time might work. If it's online, that's one thing. Some people might want an online club. Some people might want an in-person club. Some people might want a hybrid club. So maybe the one that you're chartering has a completely different format. Andrew, does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it makes sense, but I guess I'm still interested if there's a list somewhere where I could find out what clubs already exist rather than starting a new club every time I have an interest.
That's a good question. I do not know of a Toastmaster resource that has every single advanced club or specialty club listed. But I do know, as I stated earlier in the presentation, about searching. You could search on meetup groups, you could search on Facebook groups, you could search on LinkedIn groups, you could search, Darcel, you have a response. Please help.
My response is, Andrew, Toastmasters International has the name of all clubs, whether they're corporate, community, private. You can go and you can go down the list. It's thousands of them. They are separated, they are categorized. And if you don't see the name, but you see what they do, change the name and still do the same thing. Just ad-lib it. Make it fit for you and your tribe, regardless of whether that club is in existence or not.
That's helpful information. Thank you. So we're almost at the end of the hour. So what is one thing that you will bring back to your club or clubs as a result of today's training? You could place responses in the chat. What did you learn?
Okay, Sue?
Yes, Ian.
What I learned was that the specialty clubs are really more of an opportunity than one would think, because it really does open up the doors for somebody that may not be interested in just a straightforward Toastmasters.
Exactly. Thank you, Ian Melanson. That there are specialty clubs and one can start one in their interest area. There are a wide variety of clubs that are available to attend as a guest or join. The other thing you can do is you can, if you are a subject matter expert, you could visit them and you can ask to present a speech or something at their club, even if you can't join right away.
And Sue, you even gave ideas for a specialty club that people may not even think of, like you said, the master gardeners. Who would have ever thought? So that gives you an idea to think about other hobby groups that are out there that, you know, it's like I think Darcel said that, they have a special interest. No, it was Ann Mellison that said that, they may not be interested in a traditional Toastmasters, but you can take your pathways projects and align it to that specific subject matter, and it may be of interest to them. And, that may be the way to spark new clubs, is to look for that niche in the community that have those hobby interest groups and who may want to go out and, market and have more people come into their group. And the way to do it is to be able to present it and talk about it in a way that gathers people's interest.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Ian Golden. And for more information, I have my email and LinkedIn. I'm going to stop sharing, and what I'm going to do at this point is place this PowerPoint presentation, that's alliteration for all of you, in the chat, and you can download it. It is large, 13.65 megs, and you can then use these resources to check out the various websites and to connect with me. I want to say thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you for your active participation. I will stop recording.